Greetings, Earthlings. Robo Lizard here, and I would like to introduce you to a great game called Warframes today. Or Warframes, Warframe. It seems like sometimes I see it with an S, sometimes it doesn't, but anyway, this game right here, man, this is a true beauty of a game. So let's get started. It's it's gonna take like at least a half an hour to tell you about this, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. But yeah, in a game like this where you really just have so much stuff to cover, like
Tenno, your codex has been
I don't
updated
know
with
if
a
a
new
single
quest.
video will do it justice. It's kind of like my Eve Online video. I might have to make another one, um, or more. I don't know. But I'm on an Inaros right now. That's the suit that I'm currently wearing. But I just kind of wanted to. I'll go back and switch that after. But beforehand, I just wanted to give you a look at some of the visuals because, I mean, damn, we got some beautiful visuals in this game. It's so polished. Everything is polished and shiny and high tech looking, and it's really pretty. And I tend to fixate a lot on visuals because, well, I do some graphic design work, so I'm an artist. I've always been really kind of pulled in by visuals. Um, and this game has got some really nice visuals. But that's gonna, I'm not gonna talk about visuals the whole time because goddamn, there's a lot of shit to cover. So let's get into it. I'm not going to take this suit with me, but take a look at all these different suits that I have to choose from, and they all have different styles of gameplay. They have different skills, and some of them are, some of them are inspired by, like, let's say, look at this thing. This is Ash Prime. He's pretty cool. He's sort of like a ninja. He's got shurikens and he can go stealth and things like that. So he's one of the sort of like rogue classes. But again, I can't really call it classes because in this game, this is the suit that you're wearing. So technically, while it works a bit like classes, basically you've got, different suits that you can put on, each one of which have different abilities. Usually they're sort of inspired by, it's like this guy, for example, Frost. He's just, the element of ice, basically. So his attacks are all icy. But then you got one like this guy in Aros that who he's inspired sort of like by Egyptian mythology. So he's got that Anubis sort of look, and some of his skills are like scarabs and sandstorms and things like that. So you've got a great variety of different suits to choose from, and they act as your classes basically. Rather than pick your class, you pick your suit. Um, Speaking of which, I actually wanted to take a different suit for this run. So let's see. I'm gonna equip my Vauban. I have a Vauban Prime. He's pretty cool. Check him out. Come on. There we go. Beautiful, cool design. I really like the design on all the suits. I like the design on the weapons and everything. And yeah, before I get out there and start playing, I just wanted you to see that we've got like quite an extensive arsenal of weapons to choose from. I've got all these different ones unlocked, and but there's all these ones down here that I don't even have unlocked yet. So there's just still tons and tons of content left for me to explore in this game. If you consider like different guns and stuff like that content, but I like to play with different specs and options and things like that. So that's the type of thing that I look for in games is give me lots of different options to play with. And they did it right. In this one they did it right. Kind of like you can switch your weapons and your suit whenever you like. Try all kinds of different combos, and just come up with just a build, an overall sort of, configuration that you like. Of course, there's min-maxers out there who are just going to follow the trend and just, they're just going to build their weapons and configure them and everything to just sort of copy, what other people are doing. I think that's a shame because it's so much more fun to figure it out on your own. That's just the way I feel about that. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a big rant about that. You guys know how I feel about that. I think it's much better to figure it out on your own than to just have somebody hand you the winning formula and like, here you go. I've done all the thinking for you, so you don't really have to play the game anymore. Well, you still play, but you skipped on a lot of the fun part, which is just figuring out how to play and figuring out different specs and things like that. So all right, we're gonna get started. We're gonna go do a really easy one, so I can focus on talking to you about it. We're going to pick this one. It's just a simple exterminate mission. So here you see you can fly your little ship here while you're waiting. I think that's kind of cool. It's a nice little detail that they threw in. While you're waiting for your game to load, you can fly your ship. I got a nice shiny ship. Check it out. It's a shiny blue ship. Love it. And yeah, this game it's beautiful. I just love it, and I'm inspired by it. Like I think that the graphics are fantastic, and you know, it's just so creative, and there's so many different designs that, you know, there's a lot of work and love that went into it. And the gameplay is very deep, and there's so many different things to try
There is a
that,
launch
you know,
platoon
you,
of Grenier Marines
you've
stationed
got
here.
all sorts of cool
Leave no
stuff to
one
try.
standing.
And personally, I love that. All right, so let's see. The controls are wonderful. See, like Warframes, they got everything right. I have very few gripes about this game. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, like what's wrong with this game. The controls are amazing. It combines a little bit of, you know, sort of like Ninja Gaiden almost, where you can like leap and climb and glide and all that type of stuff. But then you've got like shooter elements for shooter fans. Um, you know, that's the basic combat kind of could be described as shootery. Shooter. Yeah. But then you've got like different skills that you can play with. Like, see, this ship has these cool little grenadey things. This ship, what am I talking about? I'm getting shit mixed up with EVE Online. This suit has different skills that you can use. Um, so those, for example, those kind of little lightning grenades type thing. Yeah, I like it. Can you tell? Can you tell that I like this game? Um, yeah, look at that. Look at that, man. It's like, it kind of reminds me of like Metroid Prime in the visuals, but also a little bit in the platforming elements, because this game actually has some platforming elements. Check it out, man. Look at that. You can just like climb and glide and all that good stuff. So it seems like their part of the inspiration was like platforming. So they combined elements of RPG, shooter, and platforming. I think that is very cool. And I haven't really seen anything close to this since the Metroid Prime series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I've always loved the Metroid Prime series, and I could almost compare Warframes to it in your variety of weapons that you can use, and in the platforming elements, and just the depth of it. Although there's not really puzzles, which is one of the things that Metroid Prime had, but instead, you know, you get the fun of unlocking all the content, which consists of all these cool weapons and suits and stuff, and it's definitely got that vibe to it, that alien planet vibe, which is just fun. I mean, who doesn't love that? Who doesn't want to go to an alien planet? I know I do. I don't know if I would return, but sure would like to go see that, you know? Where am I? Why am I lost? I'm so lost right now. Okay. I sometimes I have a little problem with direction. Like I get lost pretty easily in this game. But can you blame me? I mean, it's very beautiful and immersive. Um, what the hell, dude? Okay. So you see what I mean by the platforming? It's this game, like, there's many maps, and this is not even one of the most like parkour kind of maps, but you've got maps that are just wow. You know, there's lots of leaping and gliding and climbing and stuff that's required to get past them. Like, see, right now I feel like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I have to go this way, but I have to find out how to go this way. So see, that's one of the things that kind of reminds me of Metroid. Like, you sort of have to figure out how to get to places sometimes, and that can be pretty fun in and of itself. Just figuring out how to get to where you're going. But yeah, it's immersive. It's deep. It's colorful. It's beautiful, and that's Warframe. You know, I consider it to be a masterpiece in many ways. This is, you know, like, I don't like to use the word masterpiece because you know, it's it's like giving a 10 out of 10 review, but Warframe is one of those games where I think I could feel comfortable saying that it's a 10 out of 10.
Keep moving.
It's an
None of the
almost
scanners
perfect
have
game.
detected you.
So, alright, so I'm using like a flamethrower. It's called an Ignis. It's the name of this weapon. I like it a lot. It's probably my favorite. It's really good just because it just hits everything in front of you. So, it's got that going. It's a really effective way to clear a room. You know? So, just shoot the fuck out of those guys, because yes, that's what you do. Wow. Yeah, so here's some abilities from this suit. Oh, I'm out of energy. Oh man, I gotta get some energy. Well, gotta get some energy. Hello. Hello. Where's the enemies at? There's one. Oh, these little doggies here. Kubro, they're called. Like, Kubro. It's Kubro. Okay. According to my map, I've got some this way. And, yeah. There we go. I found it. Awesome. Yeah, I've got some how do you call that? Like, I'm not good at orienteering. I get lost really easily sometimes. Yeah, in real life too, man. I keep getting lost all the time in real life. I have a hard time navigating. But check it out, man. Like, look, see these things here? If you have the proper module, you can just open these up and there's stuff inside of them. I don't have that module equipped right now. But just speaking of modules though, there's many different modules you can pick up and you can add them to your weapons and things like that. So it's kind of like, oh shit, what am I doing on this wire thing? Gotta get out of there. Okay. No tightrope walking. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be killing shit. So there's one. So I have that kind of grenade ability that can just shock things. It doesn't see the guy. See this thing that I threw here? It doesn't see that guy, but it should be zapping him. I seem to have some energy issues. So I've like exhausted all of my energy, so I can't use my abilities. But I can pick some up. I just gotta find some enemies to kill and get some energy off of them, and then I can give you a little demonstration. So I've been using the Ignis the whole time, but I'm gonna switch to my secondary gun, which is called Atomos. I like it a lot. It kind of works like a chain lightning. You may have noticed that the energy is purple, and that's I like purple. It's a cool color, but I'm telling you about it more because the fact that you can actually change the colors of your gunfire, which is pretty goddamn cool. Like, I haven't seen that ever. Oops, there we go. There we go. I found some buddies. So yeah, that gun works a bit like a chain lightning. Like, if you shoot one of them, you'll shoot all of them. So that's the Atomos. I quite love it. I've got this here, which is the Orthos Prime. It's a melee weapon. It's one of many. It's the one that I've decided to bring today. It's probably my best one. Orthos Prime, really good. And yikes. It's strong. See? So that's some melee combat. You've got like combo system type thing going on. Sort of makes me think of, I don't know if any of you guys remember Phantasy Star Online, but it kind of has like that 1, 2, 3 kind of combo system going, except in this one you have tons more moves that you can do. There's, leap attacks and all kinds of stuff. You can block. You can charge your weapon, so look at that. That's pretty. That's when you're charging your weapon. You had that kind of like little acrobatic attack there. So there's quite a bit of variety, and it sort of works a little bit like, I want to say like almost like Super Smash Brothers, where you have just this basic like control scheme, but you can do a lot of different moves with it. That's why that sort of reminds me of Super Smash Brothers in that way. That's like they basically managed to keep the controls simple, but that doesn't mean that you don't have like a fuck ton of moves that you can do, which is great. So okay, so I made it through that mission. You got to see a little bit of combat. You got to see the different weapons. I didn't use my different skills on my suit, but you know, I'm gonna come back to Warframes. I'm gonna make more Warframes videos for sure, where you can see like different, different suits and their different abilities that they can use. Each one of the different suits has 4 abilities, and you can bring 3 weapons with you. So that means that you've got, 7 skills that you're bringing with you if you count your weapons. And in this game, the weapons are very much like, might as well, compare them to different skills, because that flamethrower that I was using there, it's kind of like a cone attack, but you've got like weapons that work like, like the shotguns will like spray. You've got some that has like projectiles that bounce off the walls and stuff. You got one that works like a giant laser scissors. I mean, there's plenty of creativity that goes into the design of the weapons, and there's many different weapons. So it's not just like shooting just some boring, bullet that you can't even see. Like, no, you got like stunning visuals on the different weapon attacks, and it's pretty damn cool. They put a lot of thought and a lot of creativity into the different kinds of weapons that exist. And then the fact that you can just modify them. Like you've got, for example, the Ignis, like, check it out. Wait a second. What's going on? There we go. So check it out. These are the modules that I've chosen, but these are the modules that I have. And they do different stuff, like different, you can adjust like the different energy types. So, but you can add like effects like multi-shot type things with split chamber. You can have like multiple shots fired. I seem to be experiencing some kind of lag. But anyway, so you get the point. Sinister Reach, this increases your range. So there's a lot to play around with. If you're like me and you like to spec, you like to try different specs, there's plenty of different options that you can play around with and customize, like your attacks. You can customize the look of your suit. You can pretty much customize everything. And I just think that is awesome. That gives you lots of replay value, because you got all these different weapons to unlock, but then on top of that you can modify them and try different configurations to have different, just different builds on your weapons. So yeah, I think I covered the most of it. You've got Sentinels. It's kind of that little thing that was hovering over me that whole time. That's like just it auto attacks things, and you can also fit mods on that thing. Like you've got this modding station. This is where you would upgrade your mods. You got this here. This is the foundry. This is where you would craft your gear, and you get blueprints and you farm materials to build your different gear. And it's cool. It gives you projects to focus on. Like you can build different guns and try them out and mod them differently, etc., etc. So there's all these little things that you can try, and keeps the game fresh. And they're also always adding new material. So this is one of those games that they occasionally just add patches with new content, which is really good. I think that's how it should be. They're keeping their game relevant by expanding upon it, constantly. So yeah, plenty of depth, plenty of replay, beautiful visuals, wonderful sound and music. I turned it down for this video so you could hear me. But yeah, the music and the sound effects are awesome. I want to say that a lot of the inspiration for this probably came from Star Wars, because I definitely see an influence in the visuals. Like it looks a bit like some sets from Star Wars. But I want to say also, like, probably a lot of the weapon designs are inspired by some stuff from Star Wars, because there is a lot of like energy type weapons that you can get, or at least weapons that look like they're made of energy when when you're channeling. There's all kinds of different guns. You've got, all these different kinds of laser guns that have, you know, like repeating gun, repeaters, basically like machine guns, machine laser guns. that's that's badass right there. Um, just it's just a masterpiece, man. This game is it's all kinds of good. I can't even really do it justice in a single video. So I might make more in the future. Who knows? But yeah, I think I've covered all the basics. This is the introduction to Warframes, and I think I've covered pretty much all the basics. If you guys want to see more Warframe videos in the future, please let me know, and I'll be happy to make some more in the future. Although since I'm so new to YouTube, like there's all kinds of different games that I want to cover. I'm really just getting started, guys. I've got plans, like I've got so many plans for so many videos, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give Warframes a try. It is so worth it. It's one of my favorites in recent years, and for very good reason. And I'm not alone. This is a very popular game. It's on Steam. It's free to play. You could download it right now if you want. And you can actually unlock everything without paying a dime if you're patient. If you just take your time with it, you can farm everything, and you can just build everything if you wish. Just giving you just so many options to play with, and just almost infinite replay value. Seriously, there's few games out there that have as much replay value. Uh, then again, I think that's kind of changing, and I'm glad. Like I want to see that more. I want games to have lots of depth, and at the same time still manage to be simple to pick up and play. And I think that game designers are getting there. I think we're seeing better and better games, and this is a prime example. This is a very innovative game, very well crafted. Masterpiece. Super brilliant. It's Warframe. You gotta check it out. Alright? So I think that's gonna be it for this video. This has been my introduction to Warframe. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I will see you in the next one. Alright? Cool. So thanks for watching. Bye.